all saw the benefit in that, and then we have a band to play with, of course, whether it's your compa ratios, how you play around with that. Absolutely. And that you're absolutely right, sir. Transparency works the best. I mean, you have to actually admit your vulnerabilities also. That this is what you can do and this is what you cannot do. So that works very well, I think.
Thank you. This was brilliant. Anybody else, if you want to pick up any thought or anything that you want to share, and yeah, yes, ma'am.
I promise I'll be quick about this. But I feel that sometimes we're scared of the Gen Zs, because we don't know what would come out when they are actually in a town hall or they're asking. And somewhere the leaders, as leaders, I think it's a good idea to be open to them because they're very logical. One, they're very clear. They know the purpose they're striving for. But it's just that when we are not sure of what questions they may land up, we are also looking at how would we react to them. I think just the fact that if we are open to understand where are they coming from, how have their upbringing been different from ours, and suddenly it just paves way for us to be more confident and take them in our stride. After all, we do have the grays more than they. So I think here's a time that we can actually share that and get them into our fold instead of being scared of how that will land. That's all from my side, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. With that, I want to pass on the cue back to Sid. Sid, comments review, and then we wrap up. Yeah. Maybe Nishit, and then we wrap up.
Please. No, so I think fantastic sessions overall. Just a cue from that, and I think I was thinking about what Rohit said, that how do you balance between somebody who's coming across as arrogant, but is actually showing some level of keenness or intrigue. And many times when your team ends up asking you a lot of questions, and especially in open forums, and how do you be receptive to that? Is it openness or is it arrogance? Is there a framework that you follow? Because it was a very interesting point and got me thinking. That, how do I manage my teams? Because frankly speaking, India has been, still is very hierarchical, and we are coming out of that hierarchicalness. So is there something that you guys follow to overcome that, which you had mentioned?
Challenge and arrogance. Basically, that's a very thin line between challenging and arrogance, and I think the learning mainly comes from home here, frankly. I'll be very honest with you. Many a times we want to immediately react and give a response because, I'm 55 years old, my daughter is 24 years old. If she asks me a question, I ought to have 100% of the answers. But frankly, I don't. And many times when you tell something to, a Gen Z or a Gen, whatever, millennial, they have this question, they have this typical thing, why should I do it like this? That may appear as arrogance to somebody, that may appear as challenge. And your immediate answer at home is, because my dad told me, that's why I'm telling you. So, but that's not the right answer here. Frankly, you have to actually take a step back and you have to do a lot of introspection. You have to tell yourself, maybe there is some truth in what this person is asking me. For that, again, it's a question of unlearning, it's a question of understanding yourself. Please don't be immediately reactive and respond. Even if you don't have the answer, I'll come back to you, and make sure that you come back and give the very honest, transparent answer that you have. We have a concept called, for my leaders only, I have a concept called Complete Me. So the workshop that I do with them is called Complete Me, which means I make sure that I tell them that you guys are not complete as professionals. And the Gen Z is completing you. When you need 10 skills as a complete professional, you have only 4 or 6 or 8 or 9. Gen Z is giving you that 1 or 2 things which completes you actually, which means you are the ones who's the beneficiary when a project is done or when any work is successful. So the Gen Z is actually completing you. Very important.
That's a brilliant one side of the coin. I'll just kind of add a very small complementary thing to it. So, like you rightly said, we are a very, very high power country, right? For somebody to grow up the ranks, it has taken years of toil, years of effort, years of struggle at some point in time. So I think all of us, all the leaders kind of grow up to feel that, hey, I've achieved something. So the moment somebody comes and asks you a question and challenges you, the first and foremost thing that kicks in is your ego, right? You feel that, hey, how can you question me? I've spent 20 years to become the CHRO of this company, and you're just going to walk up to me, somebody who's a fresher, you're going to walk up to me and question the things that I've been doing. So what it really helps us, and like Rohit also said, is to differentiate that, right? I don't think the Gen Zs come up to you asking a question because they want to get personal with you, but it's a general curiosity, general awareness that they are trying to build. So as leaders, how do we kind of separate the ego from jumping the gun, rather than taking, like, again, like Rohit said, being vulnerable and telling them that I don't have the answer right now, but I'll come back to you. So playing that ego game in the right place at the right time kind of also helps us manage a lot of those very, very sensitive situations where we don't know what to do.
No, wonderful. I think really well-rounded responses, and it's been a great session. And I think a lot is going to go into our next playbook. Rest assured, it will travel to those who wish to learn, who should learn, and everything that's been recorded also. Rest assured that it'll run past you before we take it live in any case. So thank you so much. Nishit, would you like to have some final comments, please?
So thank you very much, everyone who contributed. It's been very sublime and informative a conversation, and I can make up for the fact that, look, it's way past 9 already, but nobody seems to be wanting to run off already, of the ones who are here. So thank you very much. This has, of course, been very enlightening, and I hope there are key action points that can be taken, as we go back and reflect on our existing policies and processes, right? What do I have to add to this, right? So for the last 14 years, SHRM has been running something which is known as the HR Excellence Awards. Okay, we have 300-400 organizations, leading organizations, applying for these awards, and these are HR Excellence Awards. These are not Great Place to Work, or these are not Best Employer sort of. We know HR, and these are HR employers. The only thing I have to add is, because I have been privy to sort of reviewing a lot of those forms over this period of time, 9 odd years that I've been here, this is really a paradigm shift that I'm seeing. I've not seen this amount of focus on designing organizations for different generations, right, that I have seen over, let's say, the last 4 or 5 years across different organizations, right? While, as a consultant with 2 decades of experience, one of the things that I hold is very true is that context is always king, right? Just because someone says that, hey, Gen Z, but it doesn't mean, what is your context? Who are you looking to work with? Solving what type of problem? Realizing what value are the most pertinent questions, okay? So that context is, of course, very key as you sort of filter all inputs that you have heard today evening. But the only point of reflection that I would want to add is that over the last 4 or 5 years, reviewing all those forms from all the leading organizations in India, I do detect that the focus for most organizations to redesign their organization to be able to cater to this group is very, very high. Okay, so really there's something significant as a change which is going on, and there's a good likelihood that all of us would need to rethink perhaps what we are doing. There was one more statistics that I would just like to leave you with, and as a part of some of the research that we were doing, preparing this format, along with Apna. There's a fantastic research by BCG about generations in India. They did this along with Snapchat. Okay, the most important statistic that stood out for me was that 46% of buying power today in India is with the Gen Zs, right? that means they are the ones who are buying everything that you're making or half of everything that you're making. That's sort of factored to go up to almost about 60% over the next 5 years. Okay, so think about it. If we are not paying enough attention, thinking how we are being marketed as an organization to our buyers, yeah, is there something more that we can do, right? So I'll leave you with that thought. Once again, thank you very much. There's a dinner and drinks that would love to sort of continue to have some of these conversations in one-on-ones and groups. But for all of us, all of you who could come in, thank you so very much. Our partners, Apna, it's been a fabulous run, leading some of these conversations, thinking through the structure, and some fantastic inputs which have come in